Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. College football playoff, and the Bearcats are not in the top 6. Not surprising. Oklahoma, they jumped them. 2-loss win. 2-loss team. They jumped them. They got Oklahoma at 6. Not surprising. I said the 4 were going to be the same 4 they've been every single week. They're just going to shuffle the numbers. I was hoping the Bearcats would be 6. They should be 6, but they're not. Oklahoma is 6th. They just do not want the Bearcats anywhere close to this thing. I mean, the Bearcats, yes, they struggled to win last night in the rain versus Tulsa. The first time they played in a month. Luke Fickell kicks a field goal goes for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal. If you win by 10 points, does it matter? Honestly, I don't think it does. But it's just no respect whatsoever. We can't. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that I can, but it's just annoying that they won't give us any respect at all. At least throw us a bone. Put us at 6. I mean, are we at 7? I haven't revealed that yet. I don't know. Hopefully all right, good. I was going to say, hopefully the comments are turned on because they weren't yesterday. Bungle Fever, what's up, buddy? What do you got? Bama getting a bye week, or is it just a scrimmage? Yeah. Who is it? Yeah, so what, Bama's going to play Notre Dame? I'm assuming that's the way it goes. 1-4, 2-3. I think I said it yesterday, Notre Dame, or not yesterday, day before that, Notre Dame will be in. I did not expect Notre Dame to get blown out like they did. Mike, what's up? Let's see here. College football is a joke, putting teams with more than 2 losses ahead of 100. Yes, exactly. We are undefeated. I don't care what conference we play in. We're undefeated. We're undefeated team. But, I mean, they did this before. They jumped Iowa State above us. They've jumped Florida above us. I mean, it's if anybody thought Notre Dame, I toward the end of last night, I kind of was like, well, maybe they might jump Texas A&M above Notre Dame. But it's money, people. It's money. Notre Dame has got a huge brand. They're going to take them, if they can, to get the most fans to watch the game, to go to the game. You know, now they moved the Rose Bowl from California to Texas. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's all money. It's very irritating, and it just shows that if you're not in the Power 5, you are not getting in at all. I mean, Florida already knew this. They went 2 years in the American and won undefeated, and they didn't get in. We won 1 year, and I think we got what Luke said last night, 20 wins in a row at Nippert. By the way, Nippert at night, one of the best environments in college football. Even last night in the rain with very little fans, it was still awesome to watch. I wish I could have went, but it's just, I mean, I think we're going to be, hopefully, I don't think they revealed it yet because they got to do 7 yet. I got the TV on. It's over that way. So hopefully UC at least be 7 if they get that. What's up, Mike? Giving the similar schools a shot, not the football factories. Yeah. It's getting boring. Yes. Seeing the same 4 teams. Yes. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's been Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State. You can pretty much bookmark those 3 are going to be in the college playoffs. I mean, I know Alabama. Trust me, if they could have found a way to put Alabama in there last year, they would have. But it was so Tua got hurt, and there was no chance they could actually finagle them. Facebook user, what's up? Do me a favor, go to Strawberry Ice and Facebook page, subscribe, and your name will pop up there if you comment there. Like I said, exactly. Texas A&M should not be in at all because, for one, they lost to Alabama by 28 points. Yep, gave up 24 points. Gave up 38 points. Come on. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, there's Dallas. Go Buckeyes. Yeah. Well, where were you at yesterday while I was doing a Buckeye show? I didn't even get to see you yesterday or hear from you, except for on my messenger. You didn't get on the show. What was the score of the UC game? They won by 3 points. 40-43. I don't have it written down, so I don't remember offhand. But they won. If, like I said, what if Luke would have kicked the field goal instead of going for it on fourth down? You know, I mean, it still would have been the same score. They would have won by 3 points, you know, because the other field goal got blocked. So they ended up winning a game-winning field goal, and they won by 3 points. I mean, if you see it blowing them out, like I mean, they had to get a chance to move up. They had to blow them out, which they didn't. So I knew they weren't going to. I mean, I knew they weren't going to get in. I've been saying all year they're not going to let us in. You know, I'm hoping to release at 7. I'm hoping they put us behind Oklahoma. Let's see your total package. Ohio, congratulations on the Bearcat win. Yeah, it was a good win. I mean, they've had a great year. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, Joe Galloway was on there defending Ohio State and saying, well, they were in the top 10 or top 5 even before the season even started. I'm like, I know. We'll talk about it on my show. They were still ranked higher than the Bearcats, and they haven't even played a freaking game yet. So, I mean, right there, the table was set for UC not getting any respect. I mean, they're ranking a team who had a couple teams. It wasn't just Ohio State. A couple teams who hadn't even played yet at the beginning of the season who are ranked higher than the Bearcats. So now you got the guy on there to defend their picks and stuff. It's, well, we want Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame, and Ohio State on there because we like money. That's why we're here. We're here to make money. We're not really here to determine, the best college teams or give the little guys a shot. We're here to make all of us as much money as we can. That's all I got, Reese. Anyway, that's my impersonation of that guy. Because, I mean, his explanation for dropping UC last week to 9 was, well, we haven't watched him play since the 21st. I don't even think you watched him play at all, to be honest. I mean, Brandon brought it up. The game they should have watched was the game against SMU when SMU was ranked. And, they were getting SMU turned around. They were going to get the Pony Express back. And what happened? We went down there and whooped their ass. So it wasn't even close. Those are the games they should have watched at the beginning of the year. But that's the thing. They're punishing the Bearcats because we had really good wins in November, and then we didn't play, which legitimately we didn't play for a month. That's not our fault, but there's other teams that haven't played for a month, and they put them up above us. So to have us not, like I said, I was saying last night, I was thinking we're going to be either 6th or 7th. I was hoping 5th, but I really didn't think that was going to happen. Well, I thought it should have happened because Florida lost again. Iowa lost. Well, not 5th. I thought we should have been 6th. Sorry. They would have kept Texas A&M at 5th. So, I don't know. And I see, I forgot Griff. Let me get your comment up here. You guys blew it up, Ralph. Yeah, he said, I agree with the top 4. I thought UC will be 6. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the top. Well, yeah, I guess I agree with it. I mean, the thing is, Notre Dame, and wait for Tony if he's watching the show for him to jump on, the Notre Dame fan. Her Notre Dame get completely blown out last night because if you watched all the championship games last night, that was the only game that wasn't even competitive. The only one. All the other ones were close. I mean, Florida was coming back against Alabama last night, and they got sacked. The quarterback got sacked. I mean, they were all very competitive games. The only one that wasn't is Notre Dame. Now, that's Notre Dame's only loss this year, but they got smacked. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. I said if they're in it, they're going to be at 4, which that's where Notre Dame is. They're at 4. To jump, I mean, Oklahoma's got 2 losses, and I got them at 6. It's just we can't do anything because we're in the American. We cannot. we could go undefeated for 4 years, and they will not put us in the college football playoffs, or not even get us close enough to be on the first page. They can't put us at 5, or they can't put us at 6. It's just, the bias is ridiculous. I'm a total package. I'm an Ohio State fan, but the college football has always been about what gets the most money views. Yep. No way Notre Dame should be in their top 4 after just getting blown out by Clemson. I kind of tend to agree with you. Like I said, if you watch all the other games, everybody else was close, and I was rooting for Notre Dame because, I kind of root for them sometimes, but they were never in that game. Never. It was over before they walked on the field. So that's where, again, they put Notre Dame there because it's Notre Dame and because it is their only loss, but it's a bad loss, a really bad loss at the wrong time, because that's the thing. They always say you want to have your bad losses early. Well, they had their worst loss of the year, the last game of the season. So there goes that thing out the window. All games matter. Like that was the thing that everybody said about that was better about college football than college basketball. College football, every game matters. From beginning to the end, it matters. Bullcrap. It doesn't matter anymore. Unless you are Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State. If you're not these 3 teams, it doesn't matter. They just got to figure out who's going to be the 4th one. Yeah, go Bearcats, AAC 2020 champs. Yes, exactly. It just, so I guess my point is, they always say every game matters in college football. Well, now it doesn't. It doesn't matter. College, and they always, I love college basketball. I love the dance. It's like my favorite time of year. So my thing is, I think the college football or college basketball games matter more than the college football games do now, because they go by your record. They go by conference champs. If you're a conference champ and you're a tournament champ, you get an automatic bid. All those games matter. College football, I don't think it matters as much if you're not in that those three schools, and then they got to figure out the 4th one from some other Power 5 school. Mike or Tim, I hope you enjoyed Luke Fickell. He'll be leading for a Power 5 team. He has figured out a way. No, he's not going to be leaving, dude. Come on. He turned down. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go to Auburn. That's not his recruiting area. He's not leaving to go there. Anyway, that's dumb. Mike Kyle, I don't agree with Notre Dame being at 4. UC should it be 5 or 6? Yep. This is ridiculous. This makes me mad, but I agree with you what you're saying, Jeff. But when Clemson killed the Irish, the committee lost their minds. Yeah. I can't. I'm not surprised. I'm not. I said it before. They're just going to shuffle the deck. I said after they dropped UC to 9th, I said it doesn't matter what the top 4 is going to be the top 4 no matter what they do. I even said if Clemson beats Notre Dame, they're still in there. I was saying if Notre Dame beats Clemson twice, I thought Clemson would still be in there. I didn't think it was going to be a blowout at all. That's shocked me, to be honest, that it would be a blowout. It's ridiculous. This whole season has been one big sham. Let's get the top 4 in, get the season done, put them in. Let's go watch college football playoffs. Let's make a lot of money. That's what the whole goal of this was. It doesn't matter what any of these other schools did. It didn't matter what BYU did. It didn't matter what Coastal Carolina did. It didn't matter what UC did. They weren't getting in ever. They weren't going to even get close to it. I thought at the beginning of this, when they were giving us some respect, we were at 6? We were first came out. We were on the first screen. We were at 6, and then all we've done is drop. And guess how many games we've lost? None. We haven't lost any. I haven't lost any games at all. But all we've done is drop. Like I said, they haven't revealed 7 yet. I'm hoping it's UC. It better be UC. Now watch, it'll be Iowa State. They'll put them at 7 with 2 losses. I mean, oh my goodness. Let's see here. What do you got? Maybe UC should go to the Big Ten. Dude, UC would love to go to the Big Ten. It's not that easy. It's not going, let's see here. Where do the Bearcats want to go? They want to go to Big Ten or they want to go to ACC? They don't get a choice. They have to be invited. Sure, if they get invited, yeah, I'm sure they'll go to the Big Ten. Gladly. They'll go to the ACC. They go to the Big 12. Gladly. All right. What, Tim? Yes, I know you want to stir up stuff about Fickle leaving. I'm not saying Auburn, but what's your reasoning behind he wouldn't? Because he turned down the Michigan State job. And basically, from what I've read and what I've heard, the only jobs he would leave for is Ohio State and Notre Dame. I've said that on this show multiple times. I could be wrong, but that's from what I've read and what I've heard, that he is very happy here. He's a very loyal guy. And if Michigan State didn't get him, so, it's got to be, Ohio State, Notre Dame, a big school, that is from what I've read. And trust me, I've read a lot about it. So I could be wrong, but I don't really see that happening. And if you ever follow Chad Brendel on Twitter, he feels the same way that I do, that he's not going anywhere. All right, total package. Not only did Notre Dame just lose to Clemson, the last time they beat Clemson, Trevor didn't play, and they didn't have two of their good defensive players. The game also went into overtime. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I had forgotten that their two of the best defensive players didn't play in that game. I knew Trevor didn't play, and I'm like, well, they threw. The thing was, I thought Notre Dame threw all over on them the first game. They couldn't do anything to them, and nothing. I mean, Ian Book was running for his life. He'd sit back there and look. There was nowhere for the ball to go. Then they couldn't run. I mean, they couldn't do anything. It was complete and total domination by Clemson. They have updated. Not that I've seen. I got it on my screen over here. It's a 3-hour freaking show, so who knows how long it'll take them for do the 8, unless it happened while I'm talking. But I got the TV on over there, and I have not seen 7 and 8 yet. I mean, I'm trying to stay on until they do that, but we'll see how this goes. Total package, what's up? It showed this game, Clemson, smother their quarterback. Yeah, Clemson, dude, out of everybody, Clemson looked like the best team in college football yesterday. I mean, they did. Or Notre Dame just was a fraud. And I've watched some Notre Dame games, and I didn't think they were a fraud. I thought they were a pretty good team. But to get blown out that bad, I mean, to not even do, not anything. They literally could not move the ball. It was just shocking. But I don't know. It's just, get back, UC. It's frustrating, but it's also not surprising at all. They moved us to 9th last weekend. We didn't even lose the game. We didn't play, but we didn't lose the game. So it's, it is what it is for UC fans. The only way it's ever going to happen, ever going to change, is for UC to get out of the American Conference and get back to what Mike said. They should go to the Big Ten. I would love them to go to the Big Ten. I mean, honestly, geographically would be perfect. I mean, you got Ohio State in our own state. You got Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, Purdue. I mean, they're all right around here. It would be perfect and actually great for our fans to actually be able to travel to go to the games. Because, I mean, even right now we go to if we're in the American, I mean, we got to go down to Texas, South Florida, Central Florida, SMU. I mean, they're not close. I mean, we don't really, the closest school I think was Connecticut, and they left. It's not like we have, we can drive, 3 or 4 hours and get to a game. So Getting to the Big Ten would be nice. What's up, Mike? Trevor Lawrence only lost one game in his college career, and it's against Joe freaking Burrow. Get that right. Yeah, exactly. Well, so far, he's got, to finish that off, he's got to win 2 more. So, total package. I'm not saying Notre Dame is a bad team, but let another school get an opportunity. Notre Dame just lost. That's like a semifinal playoff game already. Yeah. I mean, and that's one thing I've kind of said. They need to change. This brings another good topic up, total package. They need to change the way they do this. Now, nobody liked the BCS. Only reason I didn't like the BCS because they only let 2 teams in. That was it. And they started this one and 4 teams in. Well, it should be 6 or 8. And that way, and if everybody complains about 6 or 8, then that should just stop, because there's only at the most 8 teams that could win this thing. At the most, that are good enough talent-wise to win this thing. So my thought is, because some of this, people are complaining that the championship games aren't as meaningful. The conference championship games aren't as meaningful as they used to be because of the playoffs. Well, I say you take the Power 6 conferences, you make their championship, make the championship game, whoever is in has got to be, a conference tournament or conference game championship team, So the Power 6, Power 5 plus the AAC and somebody else had to take those 7 or 6. So that'd be 7, and then get an 8th one for an at-large or something like that, and make those. They got to be conference champions. They got to win their title game to get in. You can use, and that will put more of an emphasis on winning your conference, and a bigger thing for the conference title game. Make that the play-in game or whatever to the playoffs, or that's the first round of the playoffs, or however you want to do it. That would be a good way to do it. Now, you'd have to have it an at-large one, and that's where all Notre Dame fans are like, well, what about us? That's where you come in. You could be one of the at-large teams, and go that route. Which, I mean, honestly, I think they just need to force Notre Dame to get in a conference. I mean, everybody else is in a conference except Notre Dame. They need to do something to make that. And this might be the thing, too. They're like, look, NCAA is like, look, you're in a conference. We're taking care of you. You got blown out, but you're still in. If they got blown out and they were not in the ACC, say they played Clemson, that was Notre Dame's last game, and then Clemson went on to the ACC title game against, I don't know, North Carolina or something like that. And that was Notre Dame's last game, and that would have been last week or whatever. Notre Dame wouldn't have got in. They would have forgot about them. But since they're in the ACC this year, they helped them out. Mike, I thought Notre Dame was independent school. The only reason they are in the mix is because they have a TV contract with NBC. Well, they are an independent school, except for this year. They changed the rule and let them in the ACC, which, I mean, Notre Dame is in the ACC for everything except football. That's it. Everything else they're in the ACC for. And because Notre Dame doesn't want to, because NBC has this huge contract with them. So Notre Dame couldn't get games. They couldn't schedule anybody. So the ACC said, you can come be in the ACC for 1 year and we'll help you schedule games. And that's the reason they're in there. And I think that's what's helped them this year, because if Notre Dame is independent and what happened to them, now it wouldn't be in the ACC title game, but say it's just their last game of the year and they get blown out and everybody else has a title game the next week and Notre Dame doesn't, they're out. They would have been forgotten, I think. So this is, I think, college football committee throwing Notre Dame a bone saying, hey, this is what happens when you're in a conference. If you want a shot to win this thing every year, you need to get into a conference, a Power 5 conference. If they join the AAC, wouldn't? Oh no, you can't go in there. You're an American. I mean, is that even? Do they play football there? That's the way I feel about the committee trying to watch American football conference games. They probably maybe watch one UC game this whole season. Other than that, I doubt they watched them. They might have watched a little bit. Well, last night would have been kind of hard not to watch because it wasn't prime time. But just the answer the guy gave last week was they hadn't seen him play in a month. I was like, okay, well, there's been other teams that hadn't, like Ohio State was getting close to a month and they hadn't played. But you didn't move them. Oh, is this already package? You guys are blowing it up. There you go. Sorry. Justin Field makes me nervous. He's a great player. But when the opposing defense gets to him, he doesn't look so good. I'm not sure how Justin will perform against Clemson's defense. Yeah, and the thing is, too, Herb Street brought this up. Ohio State hasn't played a full game yet. Look, they've played almost half as many games as the rest of the teams that are in the Final Four. So it takes a little while to, get continuity and get your feet wet and get used to playing again. And then, they didn't play for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long it's been since they played, and it looked like it. So that's another thing that's going against Ohio State. Now, I think, if I'm wrong, I think the college players, I think they're next weekend because they're usually around New Year's Eve. So I think it's next weekend, and then the weekend after that Monday is the championship game. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. Now, why they're revealing this at noon, I have no idea. I mean, I got NFL football coming up. Yeah, actually starting now. It's 1 o'clock, so the games are starting. Why they're stretching this out for 3 hours, I have no idea. Now, normally I'd be getting off here and going watching the Bengals, but they are going to be on Monday night and unfortunately probably embarrass themselves because Ryan Finley apparently is going to be starting because Brandon Allen hurt himself. He's injured. So it's going to be a debacle Monday night. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I really hope I'm wrong, but I do not have a very good feeling going on Monday night and playing. I mean, actually, the funny thing was I was watching a little bit of the Pac-12. Well, it wasn't a Pac-12 championship game. It was just a random game. It was Oregon State and Arizona State last night, and they were doing a promo for the Bengals Monday Night Football. And whoever the color commentator was is like, because Marvin Lewis is a defense coordinator on Arizona State, and he's like, "Wow, the Bengals they're not any better with Zach Taylor than they were with Marvin Lewis. I mean, I think they made a mistake or whatever." And which, I'm not defending Zach. They've won 4 games in 2 years. I mean, that's a fact, and that's why I say Zach needs to be fired. But now, if Marvin had this same team, would it be different? Could be. I mean, it could be, but unfortunately, 16 years was long enough, and the team, the last 2 years Marvin coached the team, it was a sham of what he had built. We lost too many people. The talent just wasn't there, and it was just time for a change. It was time for Marvin to go, and I love Marvin, but it was time for him to go. But I think Zach has proven he is not the coach, and I said, I mean, my only reason, people give all these other reasons of why to fire Zach, and I could defend him on stuff that he's done, contradicting what they're saying. But either way, 4 wins in 2 years is you don't keep your job. You don't. I mean, so he should be gone for that reason alone. I mean, that's what you're based on. You are based on wins and losses. And then that's it, And that's what college football I thought was based on wins and losses, but apparently it's not either. because Notre Dame gets crushed. They stay in the top 4. UC, we're not even in the top 6. Please explain that to me. Please explain. Oklahoma, they jumped over because they got to have. I mean, because if you look at all of them in the top 6, all of them, including Notre Dame, are in Power 5 conferences. All of them. Number 5 is Texas A&M. They're out of the SEC. Number 6 is Oklahoma out of the Big 12. All of them. Top 6, Power 5 conference. All of them. Whether they deserved it or not If you are not in the Power 6 conference, you are not getting anywhere in college football at all. Now, Lance McAllister and Mike Kyle brought this up on the show yesterday, said that even if UC was, if they expanded it to 8, they wouldn't let UC in. Now, my defense to that is, it depends on what happens here. I thought UC would be 6 or 7. I don't know how they could jump. I don't know why they jumped Oklahoma over us, but they did, which is ridiculous. I would think, that UC had a good enough resume and enough wins, being undefeated, that they wouldn't jump anybody else over us, but they did. All right, so Lance might be right. My defense was, we're going to, we said it yesterday. I said my defense was, we're going to be at least 5th or 6th. Well, nope, we're neither one of them. Hopefully we're 7th. So, if you go to the top 6, we're out. So, like I said, I think they need to expand it, but they have to do something. They can't just expand to 6. Because they expand to 6, it'll all be Power 6 or Power 5 schools. All of them. They got to make something where it has to be a group of 5 school and an at-large school. They got to somehow do that. And they got to figure out a way to give these other schools a shot. Because you're just going to keep pushing all the best recruits and everything to basically 3 schools. I thought it's 3 schools. Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama. 3 schools is who college football is pushing. Because those 3 schools, the majority of the time, are in the college football playoffs. Majority of the time, they are, the better teams. But if you keep pushing the same narrative, kids are going to go, man, I want a chance to go to the NFL. I want to go play for college football championship. I want the money. I want this. Well, if you want that, you got to go Ohio State, Alabama, or Clemson. The rest of them, yeah, they're okay. Especially Cincinnati, I wouldn't go there. They're not that good, Anyway, I guess they're going to take forever to do UC. But anyway, it's annoying. Like I said, they are at hopefully 7. We'll find out. But I am so glad you guys joined me live. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. And I will see you all Monday. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!